Hey guys, my name's Amon,
My name's Amber.
and we're in the Green Room Studio.
From the Green Room Studio, we are a go.
So Amber, thank you for coming in today. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem.
So, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I know that you're coming from San Diego, being a Marine. I kind of wanted to see what you went through, and maybe you can talk a little bit about your experiences, why you decided to join.
It was more of the experience. I'm the first woman to join in my family. I have Marines in my family, but I'm the first woman to join, so I wanted the experience and to set myself up for the career in criminal justice. I thought it would be a great stepping stone for that.
Are you trying? What do you mean, like as a police officer or like a lawyer?
I wanted to join the FBI.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Me too. But I know it's for me it's a little harder because I'm not used to like the straight edge lifestyle.
Mhm.
Same thing with the Marine Corps. I mean, it was an adjustment for me. I'm sure as for everyone else. What was it like for you to?
It was nothing like I expected, actually.
No.
I feel like I struggled more mentally than physically with everything. I think that was probably the harder part.
That's understandable,
Yeah.
especially boot camp.
Yeah, definitely. It was kind of a culture shock in a way.
Yeah.
Just, you got a bunch of different personalities from all over the country. You're navigating through your own feelings and everything, and kind of trying to join in with other girls in there, and it's hard.
It can be cliquish.
Yeah, it's very hard. And with age too, joining late, and then you have a bunch of other people joining early, so it's a huge difference in who you're dealing with.
So you were 25 when you joined.
Yes.
I was 23, so I know a little bit about what it's like joining a little older. You have people who are like 19, 20 years old in charge of you, and that can be a little demeaning.
Yes, with no life experience, and you're trying to help sometimes too, and you just can't.
I know.
You
I
can't
know
say
it.
anything.
You just gotta bite your tongue. But I think that's also with that life experience you're talking about. It helps with that kind of understanding how to read the room, right?
Yes.
But you were talking about some of like the physical demands. Like, what was that like for you as far as what you had to go through?
Physical demands, I would say that was the hardest part. That's what changed my whole career, getting out, and effect on everything. I sustained a lot of injuries from boot camp and MCT because I was part of the group that went to MCT in Pendleton. So, being on the West Coast, that was really harsh on my body, and that affected me throughout the rest of my time and even to this day. So,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Well, I hope you're getting some help with that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
The VA, of course,
Okay.
taking care of me.
I think we gotta be thankful for them. I mean, those benefits have been awesome,
Absolutely, yes.
right? I want to talk about some of the demands that the Marine Corps has you go through, especially not just physical but mental, right? You've got
Yes.
like that warrior ethos that's it's good, especially with promoting discipline, leadership, all that good stuff. But on the other side, you also have like that zero tolerance for weakness, right? So you
Yes.
gotta be strong at all times. It's like that hypermasculinity. Have you ever experienced any of that in the Corps?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot.
In the workplace? specifically?
Definitely. A lot of people have the mentality that if I had to do it, you have to do it too. And I don't necessarily agree with that in a sense. I feel like sometimes, you know, if you're able to help someone or guide them and, you know, not necessarily hand things to people, but if you can make something a little bit easier on them, I think that that's okay. But there's a lot of toxicity where people wanted you to suffer. It was competitive in a sense where it wasn't healthy. You know, people were willing to do or say things that put them on top above everybody else. And yeah, a lot of women, hyper masculinity, so definitely dealt with that, and it just made the environment uncomfortable.
I mean, did you at least, was there anybody there that could advocate for you, or what was that like? Did you have to do it on your own?
There were people that were willing to help, definitely.
That's good.
Yes, I would say there is a survival instinct where, you know, if something, you feel like you're not being treated right or just, I would say find someone that's willing to fight for you, you know, a staff NCO, an NCO, someone. And
yeah.
I was able to find that in both duty stations, thankfully, that I could confide in other staff outside of my shop.
So you said both duty stations. Could you tell me those?
The two?
Yeah.
First was Camp Fuji in Japan.
Okay.
And then in Pensacola.
Okay.
Naval base, yes.
Which one did you like most?
Japan.
Yeah?
Yes, I love Japan.
What about it?
Being in a new country, huge culture shock, but the culture is beautiful. The people are so kind. The food is amazing, and there's a lot to see out there. Unfortunately, so much, not enough time.
How long were you out there?
I was out there for a year. It's 1 year orders.
That's a long time. Did you learn any Japanese while you were up there?
I tried. It's hard. It's difficult.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. But it's fun.
But I mean, at least you got the experience.
Definitely.
Have you traveled anywhere else?
I have. I travel a lot now, and very grateful to be able to do that.
What places have you been?
I've been to Bali, in Sri Lanka, Colombia, Costa Rica.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. You have like a whole collection.
Yes.
Nice. I haven't been anywhere outside of country. So I've got my passport, but where's your next location, you think?
I'm planning for Europe next.
Where in Europe?
Italy and Spain, more than likely.
Shit. I want to go to France.
Definitely.
I want to see the Eiffel Tower. I took a little bit of French in college, but
okay.
I forgot most of it. But still, you know, and give me an opportunity to learn again.
Yes.
But yes, you know, just seeing, all I know is Florida and California. Not that anything's wrong with them.
No,
but,
not at all. It's good to want to get out there, explore, try new things, and
yeah.
You know, so getting your passport is the first step.
So you came from Cali, right? You're born and raised?
Yep.
And you came to Tampa.
Yes.
And you said you wanted to, right? You've been here before, but like, what led you, like, this is the spot?
When my best friend was stationed here, I was visiting her on 96s, and every time I came out, it was like for a concert, a festival, or to do something different, right? I thought it was really fun. I thought this town has a lot. I'm someone that's very extroverted. I like to do things, so, and I wanted to go back to school for my master's in cybersecurity, so I looked through schools in Florida because I really like Florida, and I felt that Tampa was the best choice.
UT. Okay.
Has a good program, so that's the goal.
Well, I went to USF, so I mean, respect to UT, but I'm always a bull. But yeah, so me and a few other veterans at USF partnered with SVA over at UT. So it's a nice little collegiate collab that we did. We did that a couple of times with other colleges, with some of the hurricane cleanups that we did, Hurricane Ian. It was really cool, yeah. So, I mean, one thing I'll say about the military is, like, it brings that camaraderie that I still hold on to, and
Absolutely.
I love.
Yes, I
right?
agree. Yes,
Because
definitely.
you could, like, literally talk to, doesn't matter race, age, sex, anything, if the person served, especially if they're Marines, right?
Absolutely.
We're gonna share stories.
Yes.
So,
And I love that. No matter where you go, if someone finds out you served, it doesn't matter the timing or what you did or how long. Like, it's a connection that you have.
because we've been through like all the tough times, the crappy times we go through, right? It's all for the good, though, right?
Absolutely.
Makes us stronger.
Yes.
Do you still have any like routines that you keep from military?
I do. I'd say, it comes with its good and bad habits, and I've definitely held on to some of the good.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, working out every day has always been a thing for me, but I feel like even more so now, I do a lot more running than I did before. But I think in the military, it helped me kind of get some kind of like discipline that I can carry on to now, like a focus where I'm like mission oriented. And the experiences, some of the tough times, having to work through high stress situations, all that, bringing it out here, I feel like it's helped me tremendously. And tell me, aside from the GI Bill that you use, right? Are there any other benefits that you feel like helped you while you've been out?
Absolutely. I actually haven't even touched my GI Bill yet.
What?
Yeah.
So wait, how are you paying for college right now?
I have been using Chapter 31 benefits, the VRNE, which have been really helpful.
Oh, that's smart.
And you don't have to tap into the GI Bill, which is
I
very
didn't
smart.
realize that until after I got my degrees. Well, actually, my bachelor. And then I tried to go for my master's, but they were like, nah, brother, you can get a job.
Yeah, it's
tricky,
difficult.
isn't
It is, because there's a trick to it.
I'm all ears.
There's a misconception that they're focused on education, and they're not. They're focused on getting you a job. And the reason why they do cover education is because the assumption is, if we cover this education for you, it's going to get you the job that you want. So when working with them, you want to focus on what kind of work you're going to be getting into.
That makes sense. I told them I wanted to be a lawyer. They're like, buddy, there's a job right here that you could do. You could be a copywriter right there.
Just not having it.
Come on. Well, you seriously say, like, I'm an ambitious person, and I felt like, there's, a lawyer wouldn't be too far out of reach.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Nothing's out of reach. It's really if you believe in yourself and what you're doing.
But I'm glad that you're able to get in the program. That's good. It's a bit different from the GI Bill in its own ways, but yeah, while you're in UT, I don't know what the SVA chapter is looking like over there, but it did wonders for me as far as like opening doors. But I don't know if the federal route is still something that you want to go. I know that that's an organization that could help you.
Unfortunately, doing the federal is probably not in my vision anymore.
Why?
Just because of injuries. I got my bachelor's in criminal justice. I wanted to join the FBI or even DEA. I was prepping for that. I was ready to go, but by the time my EAS came around, I already had a hip surgery from all the injuries. I was supposed to get a second hip surgery, and which I've already had, and it's just really difficult picking back up from that. And as we know, a lot of federal is similar to military physical standard. So my body was just, it's been a difficult journey, you know.
Yeah,
getting
I'm sorry
back
about
up.
that.
So I've done the career change to cybersecurity. I think that's a better path for me.
Well, I think federal could definitely use folks who are in cybersecurity.
Oh, absolutely. I'm thinking intelligence or something along those lines.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had interest in doing some federal work myself, but there's a certain standard that you gotta live by, and it's just
Right.
not my style of, you know, I'm more of like a freebird kind of
I'm the same way.
lifestyle. And I feel like that would conflict with the demands, the requirements that it comes with being any kind of federal agency. Great
agree.
job security, right? Great benefits,
Yes.
all that good stuff.
It all comes with the price. It's, I guess, what you're willing to.
But that would be some cool work, though.
Yeah.
So if not federal, where would you go?
I'm more interested on the entrepreneur side of things. So
You like open your own business?
I would like to, yes.
What would you do open your business in?
Penetration testing. So hacking.
Hacking?
Yes.
For the good guys, right?
Yes. I'm interested in being able to be hired by companies, and I find the vulnerabilities, you know, in their business and let them know so they're able to fix that and not get hacked in data breaches.
How'd you get interested in all that?
You know, I've always had an interest with computers, and I've
Okay.
never really just scratched that itch in a sense. I've kind of just had it back in mind, and I've always found hacking interesting.
Yeah,
And-
that's cool.
And I just, you know, I thought it was good timing, I guess, that everything happens for a reason. So I
So, I mean, I feel like NSA would be perfect for you.
think so. I don't know.
I mean, isn't that what they do?
Yeah, but kind of going back to what you said about
That
Just-
lifestyle.
right, and it's not that I don't think I can't do it. It's just I don't want to do that.
Sure.
So
But there's plenty of defense companies that are in that have that field for you, right?
right.
Have any companies in mind?
Not at the moment. I'm still doing research on
Okay.
the details of other things, whether I want to start my own or if I want to invest in buying a company that's already started.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of exploring my options.
Well, I feel like that industry's growing a lot, especially with technology.
Definitely.
Going into the AI era.
Yes.
What do you think about that, the whole AI situation? It's impressive, right?
It is.
Do you use ChatGPT?
No.
You don't?
No.
I use it all the time. I use it for my mental health counseling. I probably shouldn't, but it helps me work through my problems
If it works for you.
in
it
a
works.
very civilized, diplomatic way.
I'm on the fence about technology. Ironically, even though I'm interested in it, it's just
Yeah.
it could be used for good, but it's also very invasive, especially with your data.
Yeah, you understand the hazards of it.
Yes, and it's scary.
Really?
You know, oh, definitely.
What do you think the biggest problem is with it? With the hacking? Like, people are just not...
Security. You know, for example, you know, I've gotten emails from companies that your information has been obtained through a data breach through this company, but we're letting you know it's fine, or whatever, right? I think the biggest issue is just security. Some companies might not have the right protection, or not any protection at all. Maybe they don't have that in budget, but I think that's why the field is very in high demand, because there's not enough people that are trained, there's not enough services to go around, and I just think that we need more people to get into that.
You know, as we're moving into this new era, I was thinking about how they're teaching kids, and I feel like going forward, instead of learning cursive, you were gonna start teaching kids to learn code, right?
That is crazy.
But yeah, I mean, it's just signs of a new time, I think.
Right.
And I feel like, as you said, it being a growing industry, the demand is so high. I think maybe there's going to be a lot of incentives on people wanting to go in that route. I could never wrap my head around. I've tried coding, HTML. It's over my head.
A lot of numbers.
What programs are they using for that kind of stuff? Python? I don't know.
I don't know entirely. I'm not familiar with coding, but
It's different from hacking, right?
they all go hand in hand.
Okay.
As far as I'm learning, I'm still learning about it, so I'm still in the beginning stages of things.
Yeah.
That's why I have UT, so it can teach me everything I need to know.
You know, I'm kind of wanting to go back to your time when you were pursuing criminal justice.
Mm-hmm.
Do they talk at all about like technology and how that's kind of like changing laws?
Yes.
Yeah.
With laws, because law enforcement is so broad.
Mm-hmm.
There's even laws with digital things, breaking laws digitally, and there's a lot of gray area with some laws because things can go international, things could be domestic. Maybe there hasn't been an issue or a case on something, and now they need to create laws for that.
Yeah.
So it was branching out, and as technology is developing, so are ways for people to use it, not only for good but for bad as well.
Yeah.
So
That's uncharted territory, right?
yes.
That's cool. I like it. So with the experiences that you've had during your transition, I think being a Latin woman comes with a unique experience, right? I'm just wondering if you had any advice to other women or anything that you would suggest on like transitioning out and how that process could be easier for you, could have been easier for you. What would you say?
I would say, especially being a Latin person, we're huge about family, and I also understand not everyone is close to their family, but if you do have the resources, definitely use your family as a support system. I'm very close to my family, and I'm very grateful that when I got out, I was able to go back home. And I know a lot of people have a lot of pride and ego about moving back home with their parents, or
I did.
Right, and I did at first too, and it's just that mentality, like I've been away and on my own for a while, so.
Your family's from San Antonio?
My dad's from San Antonio, my mom is from San Diego.
Okay.
And they live in San Diego.
Okay.
Yes, and that could be difficult, but I would say definitely don't let that get in the way of being able to help yourself. Always help yourself. Definitely use your family to help you save up money, get a job, because it's hard. As the economy is shifting, and a lot of times not in our favor. Definitely utilize your resources. If you have people when you get out, help you get a job somewhere, maybe use your connections. If you're personable, use it. Use your skills. Use your experience. People love hiring veterans. Have things lined up. When I was doing my research, because I already knew I was going to have my degree when I was getting out, I was looking at all these jobs I wanted in the criminal justice field, and by the time I got my degree, I was already ready for a career change because of my second hip surgery. So do your research, have family as a support system, and have a plan. 100% have a plan. I can't tell you how many people I talked to that were transitioning out, that they just went home and they had no plan. I would talk to them periodically, and they just weren't doing anything with themselves. And I get not not knowing what you want to do, but it's good to at least have a plan to set yourself up so you can kind of figure that out later.
That's great. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I've had to fight for my, like, not only my benefits, but health care, mental health care. I don't know, I mean, I think you mentioned something about your struggles with getting mental health care.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, the benefits are great, but accessibility could use some work.
Absolutely. There's people getting help that don't need it, and then people that need it aren't getting any at all.
Yeah, talk to me about like your experience with getting that kind of help.
My experience was kind of rocky. I mean, well, starting with being active duty, I felt like that was a fight too. I was gone a lot from my command in Pensacola because I always had to go to medical for something. I had surgeries planned or I had physical therapy. It was always something, right? And a lot of times, I get looks, I get comments. I don't think, this is my personal opinion, I don't think I was liked in a sense because I was always gone. So I looked a certain way to people in the command. And
weak body.
Right, and that didn't hurt me, and it got to the point, they call you names like that: weak body, broke,
yeah,
broke dick, you name it, crutches. I had crutches for a while. That affected my mental health for a long time, and then you go into substance abuse, and other things like that. I was really heavy on the drinking, and that's a huge factor why I'm sober now. And getting help wasn't easy because, I'm fighting my command. Why am I always gone? Why am I tired at work? Because I'm on all these medications and I'm getting sleepy, and it's just so many things. And then I get out and I have the freedom to do a lot more for myself. I'm going to the VA in California, which I like a lot better out there. I got most of the help I needed. Sometimes, you really have to advocate for yourself. You have to learn what to say, how to say it, what to ask for. And that requires a lot of research online on what your injuries are, what you need, and what they're willing to provide for you. And, even after moving here, I will say the one thing I like about physical therapy is you don't need a referral. You can just walk in and set up an appointment if you want it. So I haven't done that yet, but it's nice to know that when I'm ready to go back to physical therapy that I can just do that. I don't have to fight with anyone to get an appointment, 6 months to a year out, which is crazy.
Yeah.
There's people getting surgeries done or that need help, and they're saying go out into town, let's refer you out to town, but it's going to cost you money, you're not covered, or it's 6 months to a year out, which is ridiculous. So
wait, are you talking about going to the VA?
I'm talking about VA and what is it called, community care.
Yeah, what about community care?
So you can utilize that, which I have done a lot, especially mental health, because finding a good therapist is like gold. I can't tell you how many times I've rejected a therapist because I don't feel like they were offering what I was looking for. And when I finally did find one, for a while I stuck with her. Then she decided to leave, and I've been on the hunt for another therapist that I've connected with, and haven't really found that yet. So I'm currently not in therapy. I'm on and off. Usually I go when I feel like I really need it. It's a good resource that I like to use, and I advocate that for everyone. And that was actually really hard in the beginning, being from Latino culture. It's frowned upon to talk about your problems to
Right.
strangers. So that was a whole battle itself. Outside of family, family's so supportive, so that it was nice to have them to understand that that's the decision I wanted to make in order for me to get better, So community care, definitely I use it when I feel like the VA isn't sufficient enough in their resources.
I'm glad that you're seeking the health care, because a lot of folks even they don't. People
No.
They kind of get stuck in their ways and be very prideful.
They are, and I think it has a lot to do with job as well.
Oh, what do you mean?
You know, I was admin, and so I feel like things are more lax than someone that's in the infantry, right?
Or being a pilot.
Right, but the thing is, you know, me personally, I don't care what people say or think, if they think I'm weak or whatever, right? The thing was, I always fought for myself, my health, because health is wealth, and I believe that you need to take care of yourself because no one else is going to. So doing that is really important, and I feel like a lot of people, like infantrymen especially, or other, you know, jobs that required more field time, maybe comm or whoever, right? I notice a lot of those people are very prideful, and, you know, I never went to medical, but I'm having a hard time making a claim. Like, well, that's your first issue. You know, you have too much pride, you still don't want to go to medical, but you know that your knee hurts, but it's okay, you'll push through. Like, a lot of people are stuck in that, and I think that's just people being toxic to themselves, and they should really open up their mind more and open up the fact that it's okay to ask for help, go to medical, it doesn't make you weak, you know. And I just feel like a lot of people deal with that, especially active duty, and then they bring that out with them as a vet, and it really sucks because by that time it's already too late. You know, when you're making a claim, they're going years back, your whole contract on how many times did you go to medical, they're looking at everything. So I think it's really important for people to start fighting for themselves and taking care of themselves while they're active duty, instead of worrying about being called weak, because that doesn't make them weak. I think it would actually help them in their longevity if they're trying to stay in, you know. So that's just my take on it.
Another side with that, though, is opportunities, and how having to go to medical is limiting those opportunities. Say, like for that pilot who's wanting to go and seek mental health, well, he can't because he knows that if he does, then they're gonna ground him because he's not capable of the mental capacity that it takes to do that, right? The high stress situations. So if you're trying to advance, I think seeking that mental health care is going to be looked at as a stigma. Like, oh, this person's going through this. Do we think he's ready for this kind of advancement or opportunity? And I think that's what also kind of institutionalizes folks into thinking, maybe I need to just toughen it up.
Right.
And yeah, it does suck, especially when people are losing out on these claims when they should have been reporting stuff long before.
Absolutely.
But thank you for, you know, sharing. I know it's not easy to talk about the mental health care, especially when there's the whole stigma behind it. I know I've had trouble with my command calling me broke because I'm going to see my psychologist or whatever, right? But I'm glad you got the help. You went and said, fuck them, right?
Yeah, because now I can't think of a single person that I talked to from that command that I'm like, wow, I'm so glad that I cared about what they thought.
Isn't it funny though? Like, people are so quick to tell you what they think, yet at the end of the day, like, they're nobody to talk in the first place.
Yeah.
It's like they don't even know any better. Like, people who say, oh, don't go to medical, don't even realize the necessity that that it has when it comes to getting out. Like, you need documents when you're getting out and you're making claims.
Yes.
So hopefully they stop discouraging folks from going to medical.
Just a vicious cycle.
Yeah, but I'm glad that things are going well for you. They're going okay for you?
Definitely,
You know?
a lot better now that I have more control of myself, and my overall well-being, not under anyone's, I guess, management.
Absolutely. Well, Ember, thanks for coming on and talking to me.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.
It's been a pleasure.